Hello fans! This video is in response to the three fat readers. Don't come at me, I didn't come up with that name, they did. The three fat readers who did a conversation about fandom decks recently, and then they issued a challenge to talk about a spread for fandom. So, challenge accepted. And here's my answer. I'm calling this one the Pensieve spread, and if you're a Harry Potter fan, then you know what that means. Now, this is really a draft, and I think I'll probably clean it up and make it really nice, but for right now, this is the top of my skill set to come up with this. So it has three positions. So if you're familiar with the Pensieve, you know this, but for everybody else, you put a memory into this basin, a basin that has runes. It's a stone basin, has runes carved on it, and you take a memory that's in a vial or vial's a good word. You put it in the Pensieve, or it could be coming out of your head. You could pull it out with your wand, put it in the Pensieve, and the person who wants to see the memory puts their head into the Pensieve, puts their face in, opens their eyes, and sees the memory. So here's the idea. The first card is a memory that you can look at. The second card is the knowledge you will gain for looking at that memory. And the third card is an action that you can take it would be based on the knowledge that you gain from looking at that memory. So I put the memory down here, the knowledge, and then moving forward, since we go from left to right in the English language, up here. So I guess if it wasn't, well, I digress. All right, so when I was working on it to see, I experimented with a few different things. And when I came up with this one, I said, all right, let me just try reading with this. So I'm not pulling something out. This is a reading I actually came up with. And when I came up with that, I said, oh, that's good. It works. It works. It works. I like this one. So this is the Smoke, Ash, and Ember deck. I thought a dragon deck would be appropriate to use since there is no legit licensed Harry Potter tarot. I used a dragon deck. So in the first position, I got a Six of Swords, and without revealing a whole lot about my life, I have had to exit a couple of times, actually. Some important relationships. It was necessary to do it. It was painful, but I did it. And then the knowledge that I gained, I got Page of Cups, so that would indicate, learning something about my feelings. And sometimes when I get a page, I think of the page as a messenger. I'll pull another card for a little bit greater insight into what that message might be, and I got the World. So I felt like by having to leave a couple of relationships, I learned more about my emotional life, and I learned more about just the world in terms of the way relationships work and the way they exist within context of a larger backdrop, which includes other people and things and events and where you are geographically. Lots of different things impact that. And then when I take a look at the action card that I pulled, I got the King of Wands. And I think that that is calling on me to be more intuitive, more creative, more in charge of the decisions that I make in terms of what relationships I get involved with going forward. And maybe, reevaluating relationships that I'm in. I'm now, and where I am in my life, I'm in my 60s, so there's a lot of lived experience there that I can draw on. So I do feel like the King is the right court card designation here. So I feel like that really held together, and I liked it a lot, and that validated my spread creation. So there it is. Now I'm going to deviate just a little bit to talk about Harry Potter decks and to introduce you to my Harry Potter deck, which I created. And it's not illegal, and it's not tarot, and it's not licensed, but I believe that it's completely kosher. Because what I did was I took, let's see, I should probably clear this stuff out. All right, so what I did was I took 2 existing decks from the Wizarding World, 2 playing card decks, this one and this one, that you can get from the Universal Studios Wizarding World gift shop. So you can get them online. You don't have to go to the Wizarding World. And I took cards from these 2 decks, combined them together to make a bigger deck, which looks like this. And they don't have a uniform look, because one is literally playing cards, 52 playing cards, and one is more of a matching game. But the imagery is consistent enough that I think they kind of hang together. I am not able to use these designations in a meaningful way, but each card has got a quote and stuff. So let's now put myself right on the spot and see if I can get a reading using my crazy homemade oracle deck. I solved the back's problem by covering them with self-adhesive paper. Okay. All right, a memory. So I'm just going to pull from a fan here. All right, the quote is a thestral. They can only be seen by people who've seen death. All right, so memory might be about death. It could be a person. It could, it could be a person who is no longer with us. It could be about something that has passed away from your life, some relationship or some, place or event in your life that's no longer there. All right, then we get the Hogwarts Express. Without reading the quote, that would be about movement and moving away from this, right? Or the knowledge that we always keep moving, even when there is something back there. And the quote is, now all you've got to do is walk straight at the wall between platforms 9 and 10. Best to do it at a bit of run if you're nervous. All right, so taking the quote into consideration, you could also say that it's gaining some knowledge about whatever, maybe a fear or something that you're nervous about that memory. And our last card, let's see what we get. The action, ooh, a Dementor. Okay, that's a tough one. Then everything went cold, as though all the happiness had gone from the world. I would say that the action is you need to take time to grieve and to mourn. Yeah, acknowledge it. It's a real thing. Don't pretend that that's not there. Okay, so that's how I would read two examples of how I would read this spread. Here it is. I am going to post this on my Instagram account. So if you want to save it, if you like it, you can go over to my Instagram account and just save it over there. Then you've got it. Okay, that's it. Challenge accepted, met, and I hope this entertained you and maybe even gave you something to think about it. Who knows? All right, bye-bye. Take care, everybody.